Jarrod Bowen, quick, strong, enthusiastic, a sort of an iconic figure for West Ham now.
He's played it through, and Bowen's in! It's up for grabs now! He's done it!
He's too good for West Ham. I know West Ham fans won't like me saying that. That's the reality.
Jarrod Bowen lines it up, puts it in the net. Jarrod Bowen is picking off Manchester City here and almost single-handedly bringing Liverpool back into the title race.
My favourite player besides all my players. I have to say it's just great what he's doing and how he developed.
Jarrod Bowen had a milestone year in 2024. He reached several West Ham landmarks and attended his first international tournament with England.
Incredible, playing for your country.
Interesting watching Jarrod Bowen recently score for England, and he's always a goal threat.
However, he can often feel overlooked among Premier League talents.
I think it's a myth that Saka is better.
So why should we be talking about Jarrod Bowen more in 2025?
Here's Bowen with a great chance for West Ham. Jarrod Bowen takes the chance. West Ham believe they're in front of Pep Guardiola's team.
Jarrod, where you've come from and how you've come is a very inspirational story.
Is Jarrod Bowen in the top 3 best players that have ever played for a so-called mid-table side?
He's literally the dream come true. I've manifested him.
This is down to me to show it now. This is my time. This is my stage. It's time to show what I'm about.
This Premier League season had been one of the most competitive in a long time. It's seen the rise of the traditionally mid-table sides as they leave behind their fear when competing with the so-called Big Six. As a result, those side stars have drawn more attention. The likes of Antoine Semenyo, Justin Kluivert, Matheus Cunha, Ola Aina and Morgan Rogers have rightfully been receiving their flowers for playing crucial parts in their team's seasons. Yet, while for some of these players it's their first of perhaps many seasons being a standout player, but Jarrod Bowen has been doing this since his arrival at West Ham in January 2020.
Here come West Ham again, and West Ham go in front. Jarrod Bowen starting in the Premier League for the first time.
Despite he's a young player, he's an experimented player.
And Bowen gets it, his throw-on goal to finish it off for West Ham. He does just that.
Despite playing in an often dysfunctional team this season, he's putting up similar, if not better numbers than some of this season's stars.
It's obviously a new transition period with a new manager coming in now. Then I got injured, so a lot of things going on. But like I said, for me, it's just trying to keep at the levels that I know I can play to. And
112 goals and assists in 229 games for the Hammers. Bowen is averaging a goal or assist almost every other game in claret and blue. Playing for the East London side in an era where they've repeatedly been trying to find a solution at striker, before once again predictably reverting back to Mikel Antonio. Bowen has been integral to West Ham's success in the last 5 years.
People think West Ham, one of the first names, possibly the first name they think of actually these days, is Jarrod Bowen.
In just the last year, Bowen has reached several milestones. In 2024, Jarrod made his 200th appearance for West Ham. He became the first West Ham player to score more than 20 goals in a top-flight season since John Hartson in the 97-98 season. He equalled Di Canio's Premier League goal-scoring record for West Ham of 16 goals.
I'm forever blowing bubbles. Bowen now.
And coming off his best Premier League campaign, Bowen went on to play for England at the European Championships in the summer. Following this, he would then score his first international goal for England in November against Ireland.
Improved the angle, they've worked it well, and Bowen, oh what about that? His first touch.
to actually score was like probably a relief as well, to just say that I've done it, I've scored for my country.
In 2025, he's reached a landmark 50th Premier League goal in a 1-0 win away at the Emirates.
Wan-Bissaka, go Bowen, and Bowen is there to meet it! East London celebrations in
Just
the
the
north.
second West Ham player to reach that number after Mikel Antonio. The Hereford boy has continually written himself into West Ham history. Bowen was made West Ham captain by the now departed Julian Lopetegui.
He has the commitment, the enough commitment with the club to become the next captain.
Signifying his importance at the club, despite, by his admission, not having the stereotypical qualities of a captain.
I never thought I would be captain. People think I'm quiet and I'm not like that, but I think away from football, that's my personality, quiet and, just keep myself to myself. But when it's football, when it's, my job, I want to win, I want to be the best version of myself, I want to help the lads every single day. And I think I've really grew into that role.
But undeterred by his injury-hit season, he's led by example on the pitch when West Ham's other stars, such as Mo Kudus and Lucas Paqueta, haven't hit their previous heights.
He's a team player. For me, it's very important. He doesn't play for him. He always is thinking about the team, and he's a very responsible man.
I really enjoy the position that I'm in terms of being a leader for this club and enjoying the role and the responsibility.
He's got the most goals and the most assists for the Hammers, which has been vital to them staying just above the relegation fight, despite the £120 million summer investment in the squad. It can't be argued that West Ham haven't tried to match Bowen's ambition for the club to play European football every year. The owners have spent over £400 million in the last 3 seasons. The Hammers spent 3 years playing in Europe between the 21-22 and 23-24 seasons, and it gave them a night West Ham fans will never forget when they won the Europa Conference League. And of course, it was Jarrod Bowen who scored the winner.
The minute Jarrod went through, I was edging down the touchline. If there was anybody I thought was going to score, it would be Jarrod.
Paquetá, played it through, and Bowen's in!
I had a lot of time. The keeper started to rush out of his goal, and I thought that's my moment to strike the ball because he couldn't then set himself.
It's up for grabs now!
And I don't know if I fell over, but then I looked up. And the ball was just going in.
Words. We've had a dream. We haven't had the best season, myself included, but to do what we've done tonight for these fans, we said before, we see it all on Instagram, all the fans, and to give them this moment, I'm over the moon.
This is the best moment of my life ever. I just can't believe I'm here. I think I'm dreaming. I just can't believe West Ham have won something. We've won more titles than Spurs now. I just can't believe that it's somebody won. West Ham are the best club in the world. I'm saying it. West Ham are the best club in the world. Come on, you are.
Whether the money had been spent on the right players and profiles can be debated. This season, they looked like the worst team in the league quite often under Lopetegui.
It was difficult because I had a really good relationship with him. Like I said, he gave me the honour of being captain. So seeing him leave, was difficult.
Now managed by Graham Potter, signs are slightly more positive. But it'd be fair to say it's still been a slightly underwhelming start to the Englishman's reign.
Well, I think at the minute, I think our front three is as good as any in the country. I really, truly believe that. You look at Jarrod Bowen, Lucas Paqueta and Mohamed Kudus, extremely talented players.
So the argument can now be made that they've not just signed the wrong players, but perhaps picked the wrong managers to keep their best players like Kudus and Paqueta with Bowen. So what is it about Jarrod Bowen that makes him so good? His goal catalogue is varied. From poaching in the 6-yard box
the back, and it's bundled in. West Ham United lead through Jarrod Bowen.
To cutting in and curling one in from the edge of the box. He can score from a range of angles.
Foul. And Bowen has speared one in!
He's an incredibly direct player. He looks to dribble at his man and cut inside from the right wing on most occasions, while harnessing the ability to go on the outside as well. He often receives the ball in the half spaces between defenders, making himself harder to mark and taking him closer to goal to shoot. Due to West Ham's struggles at striker, he's filled in up front on just over 50 occasions.
Well, because he's someone who can play forward or wide and score goals.
It's an easier transition for Bowen than for most wingers, as it suits his style of play as a poacher who likes to run in behind the defence.
Diop with the ball over the top, goal! And it's that man again!
Furthermore, as a receiver on the wing, he still occupies a lot of central areas. And he's got a solid record playing as a number 9 with 21 goals and 10 assists, demonstrating a great versatility so crucial in the modern game.
We swapped him and Mo in different positions at different times in the game. But like when it fell to Jarrod, and I thought, oh wow, he's got himself another goal.
He'll fall for Bowen. Oh, beautifully done!
Bowen's style wasn't moulded in a top academy, which may be why he stands out so much. He was forced to go an untraditional path to reach his heights after being turned down by Aston Villa and Cardiff City's academies.
I went to Villa when I was at 11, but I was too young.
Yeah,
so I went to Cardiff for 6 weeks. and thought I'd done really well. And then they told me no, so I had no from Hereford, no from Cardiff, and I was like, I am so in the mud now.
The boy from Leominster played grassroots football for Leominster Miners from the age of 4 until he was 16.
Growing up where I'm from in Leominster was probably unique, but also similar to every little boy that had a dream to play football.
He practiced on potato fields and trained his body using wheelbarrows, rollers, tractor tyres and cement mixers.
What position did your dad play?
Striker, centre forward, but he was a dirty centre. He made me do like proper weird stuff that no one's ever heard of, like picking a wheelbarrow up, filling it with cement, running up a hill.
He claims to still run on the potato fields in the off-season and partially attributes his speed to this unusual training method.
It's better to run on potato fields because it's better for your ankles and it's harder to run on. So that's the kind of stuff.
So when you get to a smooth pitch, it's just
you feel rapid. Yeah, you feel rapt. Yeah.
And did it work?
It did work. Yeah.
Bowen joined Hereford United alongside Leominster from under-14s. At 16, he joined them full-time and went straight into the men's game.
The confidence he had with the ball, he wasn't scared of running with the ball. To do that at standard is something that, you know, you have to take notice of and think, how far can this kid go?
We had no qualms about putting him in straight away. He just wants to run through a brick wall for you. And that's infectious.
Something he credits for getting him ready for the dressing room atmosphere of the men's game. At 17, he made his Hereford debut amid a relegation battle. He played 8 times and scored his first professional goal in a 3-2 win at Alfreton Town. Hereford United had done enough on the pitch to survive relegation, but as a result of failing to pay its bills, were expelled from the conference. This made Jarrod effectively a free agent, having not been paid in months. After visiting a few clubs, he joined Premier League side Hull City.
I was like, I'll go Wolves or West Brom, hour from home. Yeah. I'll be home all the time. My dad, on the other hand, was like, nah, you can go 3 hours away. You can learn some life skills. You can learn to live on your own. I was just crying for about 2 weeks.
He had to find his feet away from home for the first time, and his body needed to adjust to the different demands higher up in the pyramid.
Some of these players, when you're younger, you look up and look up to them, and now you're here with them. It's a bit, not starstruck, but it's a bit like, but you just got to get used to that and just think, well, I'm obviously good enough to come with them, so you just got to use it as an experience.
But in 2016, after 2 years in the youth teams, he made his debut for Hull City in the EFL Cup in a 3-1 win against Exeter, where he got himself an assist. 2 months later, he was given his Premier League debut off the bench against Watford and had his first Premier League start before the end of the campaign in a 7-1 loss against Spurs. Hull City were relegated, and this opened the door for Bowen's development as it presented the opportunity to play more regularly.
Obviously it wasn't good for the club, but in terms of my development, then I played for the next 3 years in the Championship. Just had that love for football, the passion for it.
Jarrod Bowen made 42 appearances in the Championship in the 17-18 season and scored 14 times.
Young Englishman scoring that many goals from a wider position is phenomenal work. He's a player who works really hard.
He would score 22 in 46 the next season, and he'd already scored 16 times in 29 games before West Ham beat Crystal Palace to the flourishing winger on deadline day in January of 2020. The fee was just over £20 million.
So I'm sat there on deadline day, gone to training normal. Manager pulls me, "What are you doing here?" I was looking at him like, what? I was like, what? Why is he being so rude to me? What have I done? Yeah. And then he was like, "We've accepted a bid from West Ham." And I was like, what? Didn't even know there was interest.
Bowen's Championship form had proved he was more than deserving of his move to a Premier League club, and he was thrown into the fire at West Ham as he made his debut against Manchester City. He went on to play 13 games in the second half of the season and scored his first goal for the Hammers against Southampton. Perhaps unsurprisingly, considering his Championship numbers, Bowen quickly settled into Premier League football. His 8 goals and 5 assists helped West Ham to 6th place, their highest finish since 1998-99. In 7 years, Bowen had gone from a 16-year-old playing for Hereford United to European football with West Ham.
Jarrod has been able to live his dream out. Just an absolute privilege to go and watch him play football every week at these stadiums and everything else.
To see him play for England and captain West Ham, it's fantastic. You don't get where you are without hard work, and Jarrod's had that upbringing to instill that in him as well.
They made the Europa League semi-finals in 21-22 and finished 7th in the league, putting them back into European football in the Conference League. Bowen scored 18 times that year and was West Ham's top goalscorer. The first of 3, likely soon to be 4, consecutive seasons as West Ham's highest scorer. The following season, Bowen admits, was his weakest Premier League season. But what happened in Prague on the 7th of June 2023 made all of that irrelevant. 1-1 in the 90th minute, the game looked to be heading to extra time. He scored to win West Ham's first trophy in 43 years, cementing himself as a West Ham legend.
To win it for the fans, give them some silverware, and we've done that, and look at it, it means the world, and it means the world to us. In my wildest dreams as a young boy growing up, that I'd win a European trophy. So to do it is, I keep saying it's the best thing it's the best feeling in the world. So that's all I can say about it.
My pleasure.
When you scored, I was crying. I loved it.
Yeah? Which goal?
Road Conference League final.
Yeah? Did you like that goal?
Yeah.
It's probably my favourite.
Bowen signed a 7-year contract the following summer with no release clause. Now 28, in the second year of that contract, he doesn't look to be moving on from West Ham before he takes his boots off one last time. He may well be deserving of a move to a team playing Champions League football every year, but what he has at West Ham likely won't be found anywhere else.
Without this club, I wouldn't have played for my country, I wouldn't have scored a winning goal in the European final, so I think it's only fair that I repay the faith, and I want to stay here, and I want to stay here for the rest of my career.
So while there are players rightfully receiving praise for what they're doing this year, longevity and consistency can't be ignored. And that's why I think more people should be talking about Jarrod Bowen, because Jarrod Bowen is elite.
I want to go down as a legend, and I know a legend is a hard thing to reach, but I think there's a lot more to do to get to that kind of status.
If you've enjoyed today's video and you want to hear more stories like this one, covering more than just the 90 minutes on the pitch, please subscribe to the channel and check out some of the other videos. Thanks for watching.